My name's Trina and I am a student in Presbytery. I've just finished 5th year, and in 5th year I was a mentor, and what mentors do are they help first years with settling in. We meet up with them once every month just to talk through things and make sure that they're doing okay and giving tips. And so I've been asked to make this video to do with any nerves or any worries you might have. So for lockers, I use boxes. I think boxes are great. I use 2 of them because the locker in my school, they're quite big. I know in other schools they're not as big. They're maybe around that big. But I'm sure there's boxes that might fit, and if not boxes, little shelves that you can make yourself with books. So for organising copies in your locker, I've seen 3 things you can do. The first one is elastic bands. So you just get your subject and then put an elastic band around all the books you have for that, and then just pop them in your locker. The second one is just colour code them. Maths could be blue, or English could be red, and a little colour code system, which would be fine. The last suggestion I have are zip up folders. I know we use them in my school. They're very handy. They take up a lot of space in the locker though, so if you have a smaller locker, I'd suggest staying with the colour coding or elastic bands. I'm going to move on to homework. For homework, just when you get home after school, do your homework straight away, because your brain is still working from the day of work, so it'll be easier to just sit down and get it done. And if you're wondering, but what to do first, so make a list and number them by priority. Let's just say you got a lot of English homework, put that as number 1, and then you'll get that done, and everything else might not seem as much because you finished the heaviest, and that works for me. Just another thing on that, deadlines. If you have a deadline for next week or 2 weeks or in 2 days, do it the day it's given, or at least start it on the day it's given, because more than likely if you start it the day it's given, it's going to be better quality because you have not rushed it, you've put time and effort into it, rather than doing it the night before or even the morning before it's due. It doesn't work. I know this from experience. It's better to just get things out of the way. So what I'm going to be talking about now is studying, and I know from experience and observation that studying is hard to get used of, hard to get the swing of, but a lot of things have helped along the way. So one thing that I do have to point out is that sometimes you might not have one way of learning. There could be multiple. So for myself, I need to see and hear things to learn them, whereas I have a friend who just needs to see pictures and associates them with words, and then she'll know them off by heart. And then I have other friends that just read the book and they know it. It's different for everyone. Experimentation with studying is obviously very important, so you can work smarter, not harder. I'm going to cringe so much for that, but it's true. And if you're struggling with studying, don't be afraid to reach out, because if you're struggling and you're not communicating that you are, no one's going to know you are, and it's absolutely vital that you put yourself on the best path you can in first year so it can set you up for the rest of your years. So I want to talk about exams. I know that my mentees were so stressed over their exams, and I'm just saying there's nothing to worry about with exams. If you keep up with your work and you're studying every day and maybe a bit over the weekends, then I am absolutely positive that your exams will be fine. There'll be nothing that you can't handle if you've already been keeping up with your work, because exams aren't out to get you. Exams don't want to make your life miserable. Exams are simply just to see where you are in terms of learning, in terms of knowing what you're doing. So if you do bad in an exam, that's okay. That is absolutely okay, because then that can get a conversation going between you and a teacher about where you're going wrong, and it could help a lot to talk about areas that you're finding difficult, but generally exams are not to make your life miserable. And I just want to say a quick thing on friends. I would not worry at all about making friends in secondary school. Making friends in secondary school is a very natural thing. It's a very quick thing, even though it might not seem it. It's such an overlooked topic that I find even myself was stressing about going into school. But really it was such a small deal, because I made friends the day I went into school and it was fine, and then I never worried about it again. So I hope all of you who are going into first year have a great year. It's a brilliant year. You make so many friends and so many memories, and it's just a great year altogether. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.